Hello everyone, and welcome to today's video all about Facebook and Instagram ads. So today I have a special guest with me. You may have seen her before here on the blog, and it's Lynan Saperstein from the Experience Experts. She's here today to talk about Facebook ads and Instagram ads. So welcome, Lynan, and tell us a little bit more about you.
My name is Lynan Saperstein, and I am the CEO and Chief Marketing Strategist at the Experience Experts, and we are a marketing and advertising agency for boutique hotels and retreat centers, and we love retreat marketing. So marketing is my love language. It's the way that I communicate with the world. I love giving people the tools, the formulas, the tried and true ways that they can fill their retreats, they can fill their retreat centers, and they can rely on those so they can do what they do best, right? Is to host these epic, beautiful yoga retreats, these beautiful transformational experiences. But I love to get people excited and empowered around marketing because it really is this amazing, divine tool to help you connect to the people who need your services, need your experiences, need your yoga retreats the most.
I love it. I always tell my clients that the way they think about marketing is really what will make your marketing great, right? If you think about marketing is all about communicating your gifts to the world, like really sharing with people what it is that you do best and how you serve them, right? So it always starts with marketing or with marketing mindset, no matter what you're doing. If you're doing ads or just organic, videos online, or you're sharing with someone one-on-one, think about the mindset behind marketing. That's where we always start. So thanks, Lynan. I'm really excited to have you on because she's actually an expert when it comes to ads. She's done a lot of ads and she knows how to really think about ads. So we're actually here today because I've had a lot of interactions lately with people, not only clients, but people in different groups that I'm part of, and also with just people asking me like, how do I do ads for my retreats? So I think we both were really excited about coming on here today and talking to you about a different way to think about Facebook ads and Instagram ads. First of all, it's kind of a mystery thing, right? Ads, what is it? How do you do it? Like, am I even, qualified to do something like this? And so
how much do I spend? Will it actually work? How do I know if it's even working? All of this stuff.
Is it worth it for my business, for my retreats?
Yeah.
So I'm here to talk to you about specifically, obviously, ads for retreats. And we think it's important that we start with thinking about ads in a way that is not necessarily targeted to selling out your retreats, but more to building your community. So I think we start there, right? We think let's set this straight. Like, I think we all know that creating ads and doing this, it takes time, right? Just learning the process and getting it out and making sure it's actually working. It's a trial process, right? You have to go in and work on it. So it's not going to happen overnight. So if you have a retreat to fill and you're watching this and you think, okay, I'm going to create an ad to fill my retreat, it's probably not going to work out. Most of the time.
We don't recommend that. We don't recommend that. It's not by just throwing money at the problem with a Facebook and Instagram ad is not going to work unless you already have a huge audience. So you're already an influencer, you're already a yoga Instagrammer, you already have multiple studios, you already have a huge following on your blog, or you have an online program that's already a huge list. That's the only way. Someone who's already running Facebook ads, someone who already has an engaged list, that's the only person that can throw a bunch of money at a Facebook ad and actually get results that
right
quickly.
away.
That's the only person.
So we're starting
there. We're trying to debunk this myth because we don't want really amazing yoga teachers, people who are hosting really beautiful events, maybe it's their very first event, to be spending a lot of extra money on Facebook ads where it's totally not needed, where it's completely unnecessary. But we want to educate you about how Facebook ads really work so you can make them work for you, both in the immediate and also in the future. So the first huge step that me and Paloma were talking about is making sure that your sales page is pixeled. Okay. So this is
also a little bit what is a pixel?
What is a pixel, right? So you go onto your ads account, and you may not even have one. So set that up, make sure it's there, and you can generate a pixel, and you can watch a YouTube video to show you how exactly to do it. It's just a bunch of code. And you can either put it in yourself, or if you're working with some sort of developer, somebody helping you with your website, you can put the code on actually every single page of your website or every single page of your sales page. And what happens is it basically puts a little tiny tag inside that someone has been to that site. And so we can retarget them in the future. So we want to retarget them to buy, or maybe retarget them to come to a future event, or retarget them with whatever it is you might be selling or any kind of offering that you're making. So this is just standard. Everyone should be pixeling their pages, whether they're gonna run ads now or maybe in 6 months or a year. Just always pixel your site. It's a safety precaution. It's just a way to build a list of people who've been to your site and they visited you and they're a little bit interested in what you might be creating with your yoga retreats.
It's basically a tool for you to know like who's been on your site and who can you
Exactly.
to not lose the people who actually visit your site and then leave, right? So you can actually access those people again. So it's a really valuable tool in that sense. A good way to kind of give you an example of what retargeting is if you go into Amazon and look for a product, and then you go into Facebook and you see that ad of that same product, right? So that is retargeting. That's what most big companies are doing. We're talking Amazon, Google, all these big companies. They do retargeting because they know that that type of ads, those types of ads work better. So there's two types of ads. There's the cold traffic ads, which is probably, if you've ever delved into this briefly, that's probably what you're trying to do. Just putting an ad up and just targeting a bunch of people that you don't know who they are. And the other one is the retargeting ad.
You have to build an audience for a Facebook ad. So it may be a completely random audience that you're just basing on some basic demographics that you want to reach. And you just called it a cold audience, a cold traffic. So people who don't know you at all, you don't have a warm relationship, or they're not a hot lead, right? So that person who's retargeted is a hot lead, somebody who maybe has looked through the website, maybe they've come to a yoga class before, someone who's already engaged with you, that is a more easy person to sell to. The cold leads are almost impossible to sell to. They're really just starting to get to know you and just being exposed to you.
Exactly. So the first differentiation is cold traffic or cold leads and hot or warm leads, right? So the warm leads are the ones who are already, like Lynan said, engaged with you somehow. They've visited your website, they've seen you before, they've clicked on your page, they liked your Facebook page, or they liked your Instagram account. Those are warm audiences. So those are the people that we want to track and retarget. So we're talking about retargeting ads today because those ads are the only ones that really work. But again, we're in here to debunk the myth that you need ads to fill your retreats. You want to start thinking about your retreats in your ads actually as a way to build your community first. So an ad needs to be, if you're going to do Facebook ads, let's start here. You want to start building those ads out months and months in advance. Before you even know what your retreat is going to be all about. So building your retreat community way before, right? And so Lynan, do you have any ideas of how you can build this community through retargeting ads? So what types of content do you put out, or how do you build these ads out?
So you can even go from a cold ad. You can go to a cold audience, or what we like to say, a lookalike audience is usually a little bit more potent. So if you have like some emails from recent yoga class attendees, or you have an email list, you can build a lookalike audience from them, and they'll just match the similar personality types and also similar interests. But you really want to be targeting them with value, not trying to sell to them, not trying to shove a retreat down their throat. We're really saying, hey, I've got something of value. So whether it's like a free meditation, maybe you've got some videos of some poses that are really great for back pain, or really great for prenatal moms, or whatever your focus and your demographic is, giving them a little freebie. And what I often say is that irresistible offer. It's the thing that you can't believe you're going to get for free, and all you have to do is put in your email, and it's going to come right to your email box. And then they start to build trust with you. We say know, like, and trust, right? They need to know who you are. They need to start to like you. And then when they start to trust you, they're more willing to give you money, buy your retreat, buy your program, just be in that energy exchange with you. So create value for them. Create a way for them to get to know you, and create a way for them to be invited into your community. Sometimes a freebie could be as simple as a Facebook group that you're inviting them into for sharing whatever like-minded yoga thing that they're really into. And people love that. People love community. They love getting plugged into similar people on the internet.
Yeah. So think about ads. If you think about your process, the journey that your clients go through, right? I always talk about the client journey. Ads can be a good tool in the beginning of that journey, just to have like eyeballs on who you are, like on your business and what it is that you do and how you serve people. But you don't want to use that as a tool to necessarily, again, sell your retreat or sell your offering. That is something that comes with building that trust. So once you have attracted people in with your ads to your free offer, once you've built a community, you nurture that community, and then you sell your retreat to them. Most people go on a retreat with people that they know, like, and trust, if not everybody, right? You have never probably signed up for a retreat with someone that you have no idea who they are and that you just signed up from an ad on Facebook. That rarely happens. Again, if you're an influencer, if you're a big name, if you know this person, you've been following that person for a while. It's not an unknown person online. So think about the process that your clients go through, or your potential clients go through with you, right? The ideal client journey of like, how do they get to know you? How do you build that relationship? How do you then, just then, when you have built that relationship and trust, sell and invite them into your retreats, right? So it's really important that you think about the journey and you look at the entire process strategically.
And we say in marketing, we actually need 7 touch points before someone will exchange money with us. So think of the 7 places, 7 ways you can meet them, and you can keep introducing yourself again and again and let them get a taste of who you are and what your community is and what you offer and what all your special sauce is. And then they have ways to get to know you. And the other thing, that I often say to people is, one time I was looking at a Deepak Chopra retreat, and I got an ad, and I didn't even click through and buy immediately. Deepak Chopra, I've read his books. He's a national bestseller. He's an international speaker. And they had to target me a bunch, and then somehow they got my phone number and called me, and I thought it was so creepy that I didn't even book the retreat with them. But even big names are not selling directly from a Facebook ad. So we're not saying you can't work your way up to it. We're saying it's really actually a way that people learn and decide they're going to buy. They need to start to trust you, and they need to have that trust first before they're going to say yes. And retreats just have that nature to them. There needs to be an interview. There needs to be some personal connection for people to say yes and give you their money.
Awesome.
Always.
So we talked about pixeling, and creating that pixel. That's always important, because if you're going to do ads at some point, you need to be doing retargeting ads. We talked about always having a strategy behind any ads that you do, even if you're targeting cold traffic, having the strategy of like nurturing and building that relationship afterwards before you sell your retreat. And then added that 7-point touch point process where people have to see you more than 7 times sometimes to be able to make a decision if they want to go on your retreat, if they want to buy anything from you. So always thinking about like that, being relevant, staying relevant with your clients, with your community is really important. And then we want to talk about Lynan, if people really want to delve into ads and kind of understand how that works, where should they start? Should they start with boosting that post, or where do they start?
So Paloma knows the number one thing that I get really annoyed with Facebook is boosting. Nobody should be boosting. Boosting doesn't do anything. You're much better off if you have a great image or really a beautiful blog post that's doing really well, to actually turn it into an ad. Don't boost a post just because of the algorithms are so tricky with especially business pages, and you can't even boost from a personal account. Just create an ad so it looks like a native ad, we say, so it looks like it's part of their news feed. It looks like a post, but you paid to put it there, and you paid to have more impressions. And an impression is just that it got seen by the people that you wanted to see it. And then you can track activity too. So if people click on it, or if they go to multiple pages on your site, you can track that as well. So Facebook is very sophisticated, but this sort of goes to the next piece, which me and Paloma were talking about. It kind of helps to work with an expert. So if you're really wanting to delve into Facebook ads, there are a ton of DIY trainings. You can teach yourself to do the basics if you're just trying to do some brand awareness or some basic likes campaign. But if you're really trying to truly build an audience, build some know, like, and trust to fill bigger retreats in the future, not right away, but somewhere down the line, 6 or 7 months down the line, or even a year, really talk to a professional. There are Facebook ads experts that you can pay by the hour. They can help you build the funnel. They can educate you with what they're setting up so you can maintain it, and they just do the initial setup. But I can't emphasize this enough. Work with a professional. because you could waste money. You can waste so much of your time sitting in there trying to figure things out. And an expert can go in there, do it super quickly, and get you results much more quickly than you would to have you learn the whole process. It changes so quickly. It's hard to track.
Yeah. And we're not here to kind of, put ads down, because I think that there is so much value in thinking about the moment in time that we're building businesses today. Like it's, we have at our fingertips the ability to reach a wider audience, more people, right? So that's so valuable. It's amazing. And I think we all should tap into that at some point. The question is, what do we know right now about ourselves, about our business, about our community? And that should inform our next step in marketing, not only ads, but in marketing. So where am I at right now? Just as much as when, you go to a yoga class, you're not going to be going up to headstand if you don't even know how to engage your core, how to kick up, right? So you always have this, you have to look at it as a process. Again, you have to look at like, what are the next steps for me? Not because everyone else is doing it, not because everyone else is talking about it, but what's the next step for me? And if you haven't tapped into your local community, to your students, and you haven't built that base first, ads will probably not really work out for you, honestly, because the base, that local community, that organic community is really, really important to create that base, so that from there you can kind of look at, okay, how can I expand my community intentionally with mindfulness, right? Thinking about what's next for me, who are my ideal clients. When you have that base first, you understand who they are, and you can really think about it strategically and be more intentional about how you do this, right?
Yeah. And the other thing me and Paloma were talking about is we're going to be creating a lot of videos, a lot of content, a lot of amazing, powerful blogs that are going to help you have some alternatives to Facebook ads if you're just starting out, or if when you go and you do this sort of investigative reporting into Facebook ads and you realize it's not time for you yet, you're not ready. Maybe you don't have the budget yet. This is another thing with a lot of retreat leaders in their first, second, even third or fourth retreat. They don't have an extra amount of money that they can be investing in Facebook ads. And you really need to be able to invest a little bit of money every single week, every single month, to really build momentum on Facebook ads, by building a list and by building that community piece. So, flex the organic first, and then go to the Facebook ads if you need to, if you really feel like you're ready, and if you feel like you're going to be consistently hosting retreats and you want to be targeting these people for that.
I love it. Okay, so great. So that's just the final kind of roundup of what we talked about. We talked about just when you're creating ads, thinking about pixeling, the pixel that you need to get from Facebook to be able to do retargeting ads, thinking about cold traffic versus warm traffic, and really again, go into Google and Google this and just learn more about this subject. What's the difference between these two, right? Think about you and where you are in your journey, in your marketing journey, and with your retreats. If you're just starting off with retreats, probably not the best thing to go and do an ad, right? You want to flex your organic muscle first, your organic community muscle, and build that base first, and really get to know your clients and what they want, and really refine your retreats. Make sure that your retreats are exactly the reflection of what your vision is and what you think your clients and what your clients really want. So, and then if you don't have a budget, it's definitely not something you should be considering, right? Because it's going to cost you money and you won't know if it's going to pay off right away. So it's really not something where you want to put your money. It's not the biggest impact that you can make in the moment, right? So if you have a little bit of marketing budget, you can do other things with that budget than going to spend that on Facebook.
Yeah, and we're going to promise to come back and do a little bit more advanced Facebook ads video for the people who are ready to go take that leap and maybe be running lead ads or lead generation ads. We'll promise to do that in the future, but for now, really flex all of those organic muscles, follow all of the amazing tools that Paloma has at rockyouryogaretreat.com. And we're going to be sharing so much more in these videos. And if you have any questions on anything that we said today, or anything that kind of comes up while we're talking, put that in the comments below. We would love to engage with you.
Yeah, absolutely. And one thing that I do want to do for next time, if we go into the subject again, which I would love to, is to talk about how you, again, can build a list, an email list, or build a community online through Facebook ads, and having other business things set up. So you have to have a website, you have to email list provider. So we'll talk about more like
Systems.
the
Yeah.
systems that you need to have behind the scenes. So this is an overview of what we think about Facebook ads, what we recommend our clients, and what we want you to think about when you are, going over like, what are the marketing strategies I need to be focusing on to sell out my retreat. And hopefully this was a helpful video for you. And again, post a comment below and let us know what you think about it. And thanks so much, Lynan, for coming on and talking about Facebook ads and everything that you know about it. And we'll go into this subject hopefully in a later video and talk a little bit more about in detail about how you can do this.